You know, watching sugarcane grow is really not that interesting. Welcome back, everyone, for another round of Minecraft Modded. Today, we're diving in to building a sugarcane farm, and I have already, as I said last episode, went ahead and made sure I tested everything, get it working the way I want, and I've already mapped out, I think, the right distance for everything, though we will find out shortly if that's going to work. I've actually changed my mind on how I'm going to do this, so I don't need that anymore. But yeah, I'm going to get this going, and my plan is to have 4 rows down here on this level of sugarcane. If this works out with 4 rows, I'm going to basically leave myself a spot right here where I can build up, or maybe even right here. That just went into the chain, but build up right here if I need to the next level up, and have a column of hoppers feeding from upstairs down to here using the same mechanic. So yeah, ultimate goal is going to be 8 distinct rows of sugarcane, at least 64 stalks of sugarcane ready to produce, and be producing constantly, fully autonomous, with no need for me to work on it. So one aspect of this build, as with any sugarcane build, you are going to require water, and it's not just a single water block in the middle of a big area like I did with the carrot farm. It's not water blocks on the side. You actually have to have a water block next to each single stalk of sugarcane. So for that purpose, I'm actually going to use 1 water block to cover 2 sugarcane, 1 on each side, so we'll have this row. And I'm doing a modified version of the rail system, so there's no reason to have rails here because I won't have any sugarcane collection happening there. Nothing's going to fall in that spot because this is going to be enclosed along the back of this. And so I'll have, like, right there behind that, there's the sugarcane. And because of that, it means I don't have to worry about having as much in the way of walking space. I guess for now it'll be easier to do it this way. But I can actually leave out some blocks, and also, more importantly, leave out some rails to cut the cost down. Because, yeah, there's no reason to have rails going along a space that there's not going to be any sugarcane. During my testing phase on this is having a block here. If I put pistons in the middle to collect from the water, that works great. Comes over here, you have to have it dump somehow into here and not block the path of the rails. Ran into problems with that. The other problem is, because of interaction between the hopper minecart and the blocks there, they were slowing down a lot, causing a problem with the larger farm size once I had all 4 rows on there. So to work around that, I used half slabs, and not like a half slab underneath, but a half slab on this block, exactly like this. And what that did is it still lets me put water in here. It still is, it's a half water block, but it still let me put some water in there, at least in creative mode. And it meant that the minecart can go underneath. There's no issue with it going underneath. And that also meant that it's not going to slow anything down. It's still going to collect. So yeah, it actually worked out a lot better. And I just remembered I do need to add some lighting up here. I'm not going to go overkill on this because it should be, you know what, I'm going to adjust this around the 3rd block in from each end. Those will be fine. That's going to cover it anyway. But yeah, we'll have sugarcane with water in the middle on 2 sides. So if it gets popped along here, gets picked up just like it does in the melon farm. It gets popped along here, it's going to sit in the water, get picked up the same. But we'll go ahead and put pistons down. And of course they need to face in. And this is just like what I tested earlier, where I had the pistons doing like both the sugarcane and the bamboo testing. So we want the sugarcane to be hit by the piston on the 2nd height levels. That way it will pop all but the lowest level. And of course, the observers are going to go at the very top, which is where it's going to be a little trickier because, yeah, we've got to get back over here, and I'm going to have to walk along this area to make this work. Fortunately, you don't actually have to have a block in front. You just have to target the very edge of what would be the lower block. If you target too close, it's going to aim downwards, which won't work. So you need to be targeting the very edge forward. Basically, I am just going to put a block behind the observers. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me move back a little bit that way because of trying to keep this compact. I am limiting available space. And, you know, we'll just move that. Well, let's put it there. And so by limiting extra space, I am kind of restricting myself in movement a little bit. But basically, yeah, same thing. Observer triggers, hits the redstone, causes piston to fire. You get your sugarcane. So that's what one side completed looks like. So if I put some water down, I should then be able to put down some sugarcane and get this one side growing already. It should not flow. Yeah, okay. It doesn't flow because it's weird physics with the water blocks in this case. It used to be you could actually place water blocks down and it would allow it to sit on the same level as sugarcane, and that's what my last sugarcane farm design was when I played years ago in a much older version. But I tried that and it doesn't work anymore. So this is what I found to be the best option. Yeah, I could use the flow of water, but then I have to have a full block underneath or even just the half slab underneath, and it causes some weirdness. And there it goes. Yep, messing up my torches. So there's the first two rows, and that's basically how it's going to look. What I plan to do is fill in with the nether brick along the front, except for right in the middle. So I'm thinking I'm going to do glass along, well, maybe just glass along the 3 blocks there that are visible, along with right here. So you'll see this dirt, that water, that dirt, and then everything here. And it'll just be these little window sections into each one, so you can see how often they're popping. And of course, in the end, it's all going to be picked up by minecart going over there, and it's basically going to feed across on that, which is what I did on the other one. Now I just need to complete some more spacing for this, and that will work perfectly. So before it becomes a nightmare to get this started, let's go ahead and get it going. And I'm just going to have to be careful building over it. But yeah, not having any blocks that it interacts with, like brushing against, means it does not slow down that bad. And the only place it might be an issue is right here along this stretch because of the nether bricks that will be lining across this. And so we'll see if this causes a problem. If it nope, not slowing down. Perfectly fine, which means now it's time to get the next row of this done. And then all I have to do is replicate the whole thing up another level high. So I'm doing a little bit of an odd shape to it in that I'm actually going to include the pistons and observers in the view for now. I might change that later, but it's odd because I'm not wanting to show this, so I'm actually getting this different shape instead of just a symmetrical 3-column high look to it. And then we're going to have a separator like that. And how perfect in the count was that? That was just like dead on exact amount. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up so I don't have to worry about the water pouring out. And yeah, there it is. It's gonna look interesting. I might just end up removing that and having it show only that. I do have some nether brick to put there and there, but again, I'm gonna have to adjust this. But that's basically it. All I really need above that is another floor, which can be the floor that the rails sit on. So that would be the floor. There's the rail and minecart. There's dirt and water blocks. There's 1, 2, 3 for the sugarcane. And then there's the ceiling. So I actually have spare room on top that if I wanted to retexture this a bit, to go in and add more dirt, more stone up there, I could probably make it fit 3 in there with just a little bit of a cap on top and be good. But yeah, it's actually saving me a good bit more room this way than I thought it would by combining that middle column there, where if either side gets triggered by any of the observers, it's the same redstone that's going to trigger this side as well. So if this one of them grows up high enough, pops all of those, and will pop these at the same time. Whether that's going to be detrimental to the growth rate of this, I don't think so, but it's always a possibility that for some reason the random tick occurs at the exact same time that the piston is out and causes it not to grow. I just don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. You know what, before I switch, only 7 carrots during all this time that I've been letting it build, but I did collect 22 already from that, and I've already taken 6 stacks of melon slices and another stack of pumpkins and sold, actually 2 stacks of pumpkins and sold them for more supplies. So yeah, very quick production on most of the farms. Sweet berries, still the disappointment. It's working, it's just gonna take time to get all the stalks growing quickly, you know, because it actually have been growing steadily. And once I get the next level done, 8 rows of 10, I should be producing a fair amount of sugarcane from this farm fully autonomously, meaning I don't have to interact with it anymore. It's working. As long as something doesn't break, it will keep working and I can leave it alone. And I'm thinking I'm going to get that second level done, and if it looks like I have enough room... Oh, I knew I heard something. But yes, if it looks like I have enough room, just barely, even if I have to add like another level or 2, I'll do a 3rd floor to the sugarcane farm, because that is a huge trade item for me and has been that way for a while. This is all about simplifying things for me. I could continue to just go out here and collect from what was this spot and the other water spot I have set up with sugarcane. It's fast, but it goes back to the fact I actually have to pay attention that, hey, that's grown, I need to go collect it. If I don't pay attention, if I'm busy digging in something, building some structure, and I'm not paying attention with the auto farm, it will keep farming. It's not an AFK farm. Technically it is, but for me it's not. It's not about just sitting here letting this run for an hour while I go do something else. It's about letting it sit here and do its job while I am busy working on something else. Alright, so that is it for this episode. The farm is working, and it's basically a template. If you have any questions, leave them in a comment below. But of course, as always, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I'll see you in the next video.